Hey everybody, and welcome back to What's the Point? It's been a few weeks since I've made a video, but I'm excited to be back with you. Last week we finished up Ecclesiastes chapter 5, where we have an interesting way in which the chapter ends when the preacher or the Kohelet introduces this idea of our lot or our portion, that which God has allotted us. And I want to read that again and then just have a further thought when it comes to our portion and trust in the Lord with it. Ecclesiastes 5 verse 19 says, everyone also to whom God has given wealth and possessions and power to enjoy them, to accept his lot and rejoice in his toil, that this is the gift of God. We talked about last week that ultimately the time in which we live is God's portion. It is our lot. So the time in which we live, we also understand from this text, the wealth, or lack of wealth, as I shared this Sunday, the possessions, power, influence is also a gift from God. But also the ability to accept the fact that this is our lot is a gift from God, and the enjoyment of our lot is also a gift from God. Understanding that from the time I'm born to the time I die, all that I experience in this life, accepting the fact that this is what God has allotted me, also allows me to be able to enjoy or find pleasure in the lot in which I've been given. And so I was reminded this week of actually Psalm 16, where we read in verses 5 and 6 that the Lord is my chosen portion. He's my cup, and you hold my lot. The lines have fallen for me in pleasant places. Indeed, I have a beautiful inheritance. See, the reality is that for the believer, yes, we can think about our time here as our portion, our possessions, and the acceptance, but ultimately Christ is our portion. And our time can be pleasurable here on earth. Yes, even before we get to heaven, we can rejoice in the time we have because Christ is our portion. In Psalm 16, he says he's our chosen portion, as in I could have the opportunity to taste of 1,000 meals or 1,000 wines or 1,000 drinks, yet Christ, God, the Lord, is my chosen portion. Have you tasted of Christ? Have you experienced, have you drank from the living water? Then we understand that he is our choice portion. And it says also that he holds our lot. And so when we think about the idea of my lot, my time, my pleasures, my enjoyment, my time to live, ultimately it's not us holding it, is God holding. He holds our lot. And so for the believer, we understand that Christ is our portion. He is our choice, if you will. But he's also the one who holds our very time in our existence, our lot, everything about us, we are held in his hands. And I really love this in verse 6 of Psalm 16. It says that the lines have fallen for me in pleasant places. The word lines there can literally be translated boundaries, as in for the child of God, those who have placed their faith in Jesus, that there have been boundaries placed in our life. And ultimately, it says that the lines have fallen for me in pleasant places. Ultimately, that could just be translated in pleasures. That for the child of God, yes, Christ is our portion. He holds our lot. But because of his goodness and his sovereignty and his providence in our life, that the lines, the boundaries, ultimately, he has bound us to himself. He has fenced us into his goodness, because Psalm 16:11 says that those pleasures are found at his right hand. And so therefore, bringing it up to where we are now, how does that apply to the believer's life? Is that I can accept my portion, my time, what I have or what I don't have, the hevel, if you will, because I understand that no matter where I find myself, that Christ has fenced me into himself. And in him is where we find pleasures forevermore, that we've been fenced into the goodness of God, that no matter what my life, my time, my allotted time to live, no matter what I experience, I'm also understanding that I'm fenced into the goodness of God. So no matter what's going on, I can still know the goodness of God. I can experience the goodness of God even in tragedy, even in hardship, even in suffering, even whenever my dreams are not coming to fruition, whenever my life may not be what I thought it would be. Maybe I'm gonna hit a bump in the road and it just doesn't make sense. Still simultaneously, because Christ is our portion, we have been fenced into his goodness. No matter what we are walking through, we can still know the goodness of Christ through his shed blood, forgiveness of our sins, and him covenanting himself to us that he'll be with us no matter where we go. So be encouraged today. Even no matter where your lot or your portion you have right now in this thing called life, that the goodness of God has fenced you into himself. Be blessed.